look at me. Wherever he's looking is where he's thinking. I want him thinking about me, not thinking about the grass, not worried about those two. And so what I'm going to just try to get him to look. All I'm trying to do is draw his attention and get him looking at me. He's going to want to leave. That's okay. So right now, I don't even exist to him. I'm just maybe somewhat of an annoyance, but he's going to do whatever he can to try to not focus here. There we go. He looks. As soon as he looks, I take some of that pressure off of him. I say thank you in a way that he acknowledged me, at least, that I do exist here. Stepping over, drawing his focus with me. Try to keep him from leaving. I really want him to be here. What I'm watching for, is he's looking with me, and you can watch his ears too. His ears tell a lot about where he's thinking. I'm just gonna walk up and pet him here. And then I'm gonna see if I can't draw him with me there. Good, there we go. So I'm inviting him to be with me here. He looked up and he just kind of lost track of me. Too hooked onto those goat and everything else here. I need him to let go. Let go of what he's thinking about. He's looking to the herd for security. Everything in his instincts tells him being alone is not good. That's where the horse will connect with the goat, with the other horses and everything else. And I'm trying to get him to make that connection here with me. What we're dealing with here is the mind-body relationship. Wherever the mind goes, the body wants to be there too. And we operate the same way. If our mind isn't here and now, we're going to have some anxiety. We need to be able to let go of whatever we have on our mind and get present with our horse here. I'm trying to get him to get with me more. We'll see how he gravitates towards his buddies there, because he's looking to them for security. And I want him to take his mind off of that and get here with me. So I kind of throw the rope in there because he just wants to hang out there. I got to do something more to get him to get with me. So here he faced up to me. He looked off there so I get his attention back. As long as he keeps his focus here, over this way, away from where the herd is, to see if he kind of follows with me here. His mind went down to the grass. Here it comes. Attaboy. So the horse, we'll say the horse is always honest. Because whatever he's doing is exactly what he's thinking. So if his mind goes down to the grass, he's thinking about grass. He's not thinking about me. Good. So I just invite him to come with me, away from the draw of his herd mates there. They're not really his herd mates. He hasn't been here long enough, but as a horse, he knows that being alone is bad. He's just walking past me a little bit. So now I'm just going to come over here and invite him to come with me. Hey. And he didn't come, so I just say, hey, you forgot about me. Trying to get him to look at me again. There we go. Good. Step this way a little bit. See if he'll bring that thought around. Alright, come with me. Now see, he is not being as hooked on to the other one. Yogi last week was really a little bit more upset about that than he is. Because he doesn't have as strong of a connection, which is fine. He doesn't have any connection with me either. doesn't know me any more than he knows those guys, really. So here, and I can bite. See where he's hooking on now. He's really letting go of whatever thing he had on his mind there. I'm getting more with him. So we can go for a walk here. A little bit more aware of me, so you're not running me over. Still good. That's better. See, now he stopped a little sooner than him kind of running up into my space. Good. Facial awareness here, but he's kind of having a little deal with. That's better. We might call that good manners. And good manners on a horse is about the same as like with children. So his space is his room, and my space is my room. And like with the children, and I think there's two different ways I can go about this. Whether we could be the teacher or the parent. Let's do the teacher scenario. So if I'm the teacher, and the student is coming into my desk and rooting through my drawers, well, that's a no-go. They're going to get in trouble for that. And here, when he keeps stepping into my space, I'll just fix that up for him. I can pet him from here. He doesn't have to be on top of me. Okay. But at the same time, if I'm the teacher, the kid cannot say, you can't go through my locker. You can't look through my desk. So anywhere in his personal space, as long as I come in here respectfully, there shouldn't be anywhere on him that I can't go. Okay? Now, if I invited him in, if he was the student and I said, come in here, come closer, and I invited him, that'd be like telling the student, hey, go in my middle drawer and get a pencil, right? Because I'm giving them permission. So if he comes in on his own, I'll correct that. If I invite him into my space, that's okay. At the same time, there's nowhere in here in his personal space that he can say no. It's just good manners. So his mind is wandering, and I just get his attention back to me. And wherever the mind goes, the body must follow. The horse knows this. He would never do it on his own. We do it to ourselves all the time. And to the horse, that's just insanity. There's nowhere that he would separate himself on purpose. If he's thirsty, he goes and gets a drink. If he's hungry, he's going to eat. If he's thinking about his pals, he's going to go find them. He knows that no matter what he does, if he stays where his mind goes, he's going to feel good. When we step in, we put him in this pen and his buddies are over there or everything else. Now we're creating that separation, something that he wouldn't do on his own. What we have is the ability to say, well, maybe I can't get my body to where my mind is, but let's get my mind to where my body is here. And that's why you guys are all here with your yoga or meditation. The meditation is about bringing your mind in. Your breath, it's not about the breathing, it's about thinking about the breathing. It's bringing your mind in to yourself. That's what brings the calmness. So with the horse, I can say, here, get your mind here, be present with me, and you can feel just as good as if you are right there with your pal. But I know that if I can get him here with me, then we can get along just fine. And if he ever would get lost, I would be right there to help him. Say, come back here, get back with me. And then you'll feel better. Now that I've got him kind of with me here, I'm going to work on just directing his thoughts. So like when we get on the horse and we start riding him, we want him to be aware of us. but also thinking about where we're wanting him to go. So I need to be able to direct that. If I want him to go left, he needs to think left. If I want him to go right, he needs to think right. So here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to direct his attention off to my right here, and I'm going to get him looking over there. He doesn't know exactly what it is I want him to look at, but I got him to look, see. I directed that thought over there. I'll get him to look off to my left. I'll just keep blocking that way until he can kind of look over there. He has to really look with his interest, not just turn his head, but you'll watch his eyes and his ears where it'll really turn the corner there. I'll just block that. The resistance of getting that thought is him running into my hand. His thought wants to go off to my right, and I want it to go to the left. So I'll just kind of keep that in there until he can get that to come around. He'll run, there it goes. See how he looks. That's all I needed him to do. Good. I'll ask for that again. So when we're working with these guys, I have the ask, see? And then when I stop asking, that's him knowing, okay, well, that must have been the right answer. This connection between me and the horse, it's like a muscle. It has to be exercised. The more that I call him back to me, the stronger his connection to me will be. So those little moments when he leaves me and I have to regroup and bring it back is good, because it's just me practicing getting that focus. And it's the same thing with us when we're just kind of all what we call it, the monkey mind, right? And it's all over the place. That we have to just refocus. And our mind is funny because it does not want to be quiet. And you have to just quiet it down again and observe those thoughts, and you can kind of laugh at it because it's really trying to trick you into getting distracted. You'll come up with the most random things in your thoughts there, right? Instead of just being quiet. And that's where the horse can kind of get scattered too, and so I just have to keep bringing that focus in. When I was learning to do this with these guys, the main thing that I realized was, well, how can I teach a horse how to focus if I can't myself? I have to be able to be here and now in the moment. So I'm working all this and not even thinking about it as I'm talking to you, but I'm right here with him. I'm always ultimately aware of what he's doing here. I can't keep him focused with me if I'm thinking about who knows what. So that's what the horse has really taught me, was how to be centered myself. That way I could get him there. I have to be able to show him the way. I need to know how to get there. In the horse's world, as a prey animal, anything that he doesn't clearly understand is clearly going to kill him. It's just the way it is. So if I can help him get with me, and I say, hey, it's all right, and he can feel better about that.
I love the link between bringing him in, which to me is like meditation. You know, if you think of you like, being centered, or, the spirit, and him being the mind, you want to connect the two. But then there are times functionally that I also want to stay focused. I want to direct my thoughts. I know that one thing you taught me is if I'm on a horse and he's scattered or nervous, and of course that makes me scattered and nervous too, because I feel like I'm on a ticking bomb then.
Right.
Keep him busy. Keep directing his thoughts, move his feet.
Right.
So, what kind of correlations can we draw between our own minds and when they start to get distracted or go off in bad directions, and directing the mind?
Yeah, so, and this is a conversation that we've kind of got started with when I said, this groundwork stuff is like yoga, because I'm giving the horse something to focus on so that his mind gets here and gets present, right? It's not always just about focusing on me. I'm the one here that's kind of directing things, but he's got to think about being able to bring this back end around here if I'm going to step this back end around. He couldn't do that if he was still thinking about eating grass, right? If I want him to step the back end around here. See, I'm controlling the dance, let's say, to where he's moving one way or another. Now this, when I started here, was if I can get him to think over that way, then I can direct his front end over here. So he's got to be looking first, and then I can add a little light here, and then he can step the front end over. Good. So no matter what he's doing, that's okay. It's okay that he's trying to get over by his friends. I just kind of keep interrupting that. There you go. Good. And he can step off of that. But it was so much that he had to leave. See? It wasn't as much on the other side. And that's just basic right and left-handedness with them. It's going to be easy for him to step over this way. I'll bring him back. There's what. Come into my space and I'll block that. Get him to look. There. Just trying to encourage him to try something. There you go. Good. So it wasn't much, but it was the beginning. We think about this with the horse. He hasn't a clue what I'm asking for. So I got to take every little try that he gives me in the right direction. And then I stop there. You'd start questioning yourself and your own answers because I kept asking, even though it was the right answer. But if I ask you what 2 plus 2 is, you tell me it was 4, and then we can go on to something else, and I can come back to that. But you knew it was the right answer because I moved on. I didn't keep repeating and asking all the time. So here I'm asking him to get his thought to go over that way. Good. He's a little harder on it now. There's a meaning there. Good. See how much easier it was for him that time. He wasn't trying to get over me. I didn't have to block him so much. He says, well, I can back up. That's not what I'm asking for. So I'll just let him keep giving me that wrong answer till he gets me the right one. Even on his mind to go that direction. So I'll bend my head all the way around to my back, but I'm not going to move my feet. So I'll just keep encouraging him. When we're working with the horse, or any animal, or children even, it's like I can't expect him to write his name unless he learns how to draw out the letters of the alphabet. But even more so, he can't write the letters of the alphabet if he doesn't even know how to hold a pencil. And that's where we kind of get ahead of ourselves in our training. We think, well, you know, we'll go with the very basics, but then there's even more basics before that even. So, like I said, every try I get from him, I'm always rewarding him and trying to build onto that. Pretty soon he's going to realize it's just not working. One thing I've learned from a horse too, they're amazingly adaptable, more so than what we are.
Yeah, I was just thinking
that. A person to change a thought, right?
How often do we do the same thing over and over and over, thinking maybe this time it'll work? Yeah.
Yep.
But yet, the minute you change direction, suddenly it all comes together, and you're like, oh, I could have saved so much time.
Right. But we're in our own way.
Yeah.
He's in his own way mentally there. If he could just bridge that gap and step that over. But that's okay, because you can see how much more. What are you doing here? So what we're dealing with is what we call like a primary thought, secondary thought. So primarily, that's what he's doing. That's what he's directly thinking about. So primarily, he's thinking about grass right now. Secondarily, he's aware of me. So if I step over here, I can draw him, see? And that's okay. If I'm standing here talking to you guys and he wants to eat, that's okay by me because I know the moment that I step over here, he's with me. Okay? So if he can do that, if he can split his attention between eating the grass as primary thought and still being aware of me. Now this is no different than if he was with his herd mates. They're all eating grass and somebody goes and looks at something. Everybody's head's going to come up at attention and look because they're ultimately always aware of their surroundings all the time. And that's another kind of a lesson that we can learn from the horses. What he's really responding to is my energy. Again, that has a lot to do with my presence. But I could have somebody who's really timid, maybe he's scared of horses, and they could throw the rope, I mean, identical to what I do, and that horse is going to blow them off, like, whatever. They're not going to respond the same way. It's energy has so much to do with that confidence and knowing that, hey, I need you to get with me. We could call that, it's like, oh, what's the word I'm thinking of? Our vibration. I can raise my vibration, and that really attracts them here. But I can lower it too, to the appropriate, so that he doesn't feel like that's pushing him away. Okay. And so that, I think the vibration is just, well, it's just like our aura. It's just that unseen energy. I think that's it. That's another thing with your aura, your energy, vibration, whatever you want to call it. It's what it gets the horses that want to be with you. Another thing that the horses have in common with us, I'd mentioned a couple times, getting him to let go. And I found the relation in the Kubler-Ross 5 stages of grief. And ultimately, I call it the 5 steps to emotional resolution, or 5 steps to acceptance. And so in the horse, the first step is denial, and that's when he's running and he's saying, oh, this can't be happening to me, get me out of here. The second one is anger, and that might come out when, well, I should say the first one, that get me out of here, that denial, is flight. We would consider that the flight instinct in a horse. The second one is the fight, which is anger, and that's when they're kicking or bucking, rearing, biting, striking, all those, nasty little things that they can do to hurt you. The third one is depression, and that we would call freeze, like a deer in the headlights. Like that deer is so scared it can't move, right? And the horses can get like that. They can be moving, but they're like zombies. You'll see there's no expression, and they're just kind of what we call shut down. The fourth one is bargaining, and I see that so much when we're working with the horses, where there's always kind of these special conditions, like people say, well, I can't ride my horse. It's too windy. I can't ride my horse, because they know that in that bargaining, the horse is really not focused with them 100%, and that wind and the rattling of the leaves or whatnot is going to draw them away and maybe make them react. Some of his pushiness maybe would be bargaining. He stops, but he kind of makes 2-3 extra steps when he's like into me here, and I'm trying to get that to come through a little bit better. But ultimately, the fifth one is acceptance, and he's pretty close to acceptance to a degree here. I haven't pushed him too hard on that because I just don't need to, but he's here with me. He's accepted that through all the stuff that he's tried here today, that if he just sticks with me, it's just a way better deal overall.